What is up, gamers? And in today's video, as you saw by the title, we are going to be talking about The Walking Dead Destinies and about the character roster, release date, and everything like that. Possible storyline based off the description of the character, because it does give us a little bit there. So, anyways, let's jump right into this. It says start the game as Rick and lead the group through the early chapters of the Walking Dead survivors' iconic journey. Will you make the same choices as Rick, or will you forge your own path? And the weapons of choice is a revolver and a bat. Now, he's just a iconic character, so it's going to be super fun playing as him. And now our second character that we're going to be taking a look at is, now we got Shane. And his description says, Shane will do whatever it takes to keep the group safe, whether they like it or not. If Shane had been in charge, would more of the original group survive? And his weapons of choice is shotgun and sledgehammer. Of course, we know he uses the shotgun quite a bit, so it makes sense. Now, this is going to be an interesting what if, because of course we know he actually didn't die, then a lot of the actual survivors did die, so it is interesting to see, like, if he did live, would more of them survive? Of course, it's based off your decisions, but let's get on to the next character. Now, one thing I'm going to mention before we get on to the next character is there is going to be 3 different boss fights, which we know one of them will most likely be Shane. The other one will be the governor. Now, I heard something about someone that possibly has an early copy of the game, which I don't know if I believe, but I mean, what he says makes me want to believe him because it sounds cool. Now, apparently, there's something like you can kill the governor possibly early, and maybe it will be Joe the Claimer, which I think would be interesting if it's true. I find it somewhat hard to believe, but also I think it's possible because I think if they were just saying that, I think they probably wouldn't try to do like something as crazy as that. But I think that would make sense because of everything that they did to Rick and their group. It would be interesting to see that as a what if sort of scenario. But let's get back to the character rosters. Okay, the next character we got is Michonne. Michonne's melee skills and ability to call BS makes her a unplaceable part of the group dynamic. Is Michonne path the key to changing the course of history? And then her weapon of choice is a pistol, and then of course her melee weapon of choice is a katana, which we all probably expect shooting. Now, one of those words I wasn't sure exactly how to say. But yeah, now let's get into the next character, which is Daryl, which he is my favorite character. But his description said Daryl tracking and hunting skills.
Now don't panic.
Atlanta survivor. Would Daryl
No one is going anywhere.
Made it off that rooftop in one piece. Says his choice of weapons is a crossbow and a knife, which makes sense for Daryl, but I believe originally the plan for Daryl and Merle, like their plan was to steal some supplies and leave at the very beginning before, of course, he became close with everyone and then decided to stay. So maybe that could be the path they're taking. But the next character will be Merle. Merle's old-fashioned ideas and abrasive personality can cause friction within the group, to say the least. Is there a smart way to harness the chaos he creates, or is the group really better off without him? And then his weapons of choice is a pistol and a machete. So, okay, first of all, this model, it did not, like, I heard the voice in the trailer, and it does sound good. Like, it sounds like the original actor, just like Daryl sound pretty good. But the models on all these characters just don't look that good. But anyway, the next character, let's just move on to the next character. Carol. Carol, pragmatic and resourceful, are crucial for the survival of the group. When the time comes, will you trust the call she makes or go your own way? And then her weapons is pistol and a knife, which okay, uh I will trust her, but anyway, let's move on to the next character. Carl Grimes. Carl is brave, resourceful, and determined. He is on a journey to become an expert marksman, having a keen eye allowing him to hit far away targets with pinpoint accuracy. And then his weapons is a revolver and a bat. With the bat makes sense, but the revolver is more of Rick's weapon. But I mean, hey, father like son. But anyways, I think other than the model they have for him, uh, like it looks okay, but it's not like perfect. But still, I'm excited to see what they do with him. But anyways, let's move on to the next character. Lori. Lori is trapped between a rock and a hard place. The man she loves and his former best friend. Can you change history so she'll live to see her children grow up? And then she has a pistol and a crowbar. Okay, so that's Lori's character, which it seems like she can live to see her children grow up, no matter if it's Rick or Shane. But let's move on to the next character. Now we got my favorite character, Glenn. Glenn is determined to show the group what kind of man he can be, and he's pretty good at stealthing past walkers when there are too many to fight. Will his romance with Maggie end happier even after, or happier after this time? And he has a pistol and crowbar. Now, I think there might be a DLC. There could just do a sequel, but given how they're referencing his death already, it's definitely possible they might do DLC to wrap up all the final season, which probably would make it easier. But time to move on to the next character. Now we got T-Dog. T-Dog is a practical and quiet man who wants to keep his people together. Will you heed his warnings, or will your choices cause him to become someone altogether different? That's interesting. Now, in the trailer, it showed that he could possibly become what Merle is and work with like the governor, and like have the knife hand. But okay, so his ranged weapon is a pistol, and his melee weapon is a sledgehammer. But we got one final character to look at, so let's talk about them. Okay, here's our final character that we know of that like actually has a description. Herschel, it looked like from one of the trailers, will be playable, but it wasn't on the website. But anyways, the governor. The governor will do whatever it takes to maintain control and march towards his single-eyed vision for the future. He is a powerful enemy, to be sure, but could he make an even more powerful ally? And then his ranged weapon is an assault rifle, and his melee weapon is a katana, which is pretty interesting. So, I thought that would most likely be one of the storylines. And like I said earlier about possibly killing him earlier, maybe. But anyways, that'll be all this time. Went through all the characters. Oh wait, a little bit. So it's coming out the 17th. There will be 3 battles, and there will be 150 possible endings, plus 150 plus endings. So yeah, I might go more in detail in another video, but some people think it's coming out the 14th, somewhere it said that, so it either is coming out the 14th or the 17th, which, whenever it comes out, that'll be the day I'm playing it on the channel. But anyways, see you on the next one. Peace out.